I'm gonna be 100% honest with you folks. I'm not one of those guys that became a millionaire at the age of 18. It's taken me a bit longer. But now that I'm almost there, I've learned several different things that I believe are going to be absolutely critical for you to start applying to your life in order for you to become a millionaire. And so these are 8 money tips that you need to start doing if you want to become a millionaire in your 20s. Now, the first tip is that you have to start getting into the habit of saving a percentage of your money. Even if you're not making a ton of money right now, okay? That's not the point. You could be making, you know, $100 per week and saving 10% of it, right? And you're probably thinking to yourself, well, Joshua, what's the point of saving such a small amount of money that's never going to make me rich? And you're right, it's not. But once again, that's not the point. The point is to get into the habit of saving 10, 20, 30% of your income so that when you do start making a lot of money, you'll already have built up the discipline and habit of saving. Now, the next tip is that you don't want to depend on saving to make you rich. Here's the thing about saving that a lot of people don't understand, okay? This is gonna sound very counterintuitive because I just told you that saving money is really important, but here's the thing, okay? If you're just saving money for the sake of just saving money, like you're just saving it, you're stashing it away in your savings account and you're not actually doing anything with the money aside from just letting it sit there, you will never become a millionaire, period. The point of you saving money is to immediately turn around and deploy it somewhere, right? Like actually put it to work somewhere so that it can continue making you more money. And this could be, you know, investing in real estate, in the stock market, starting your own business, whatever you decide to do with your money, just understand that the only way it can ever grow is if you put it to work. When I first started this YouTube channel in 2021, I'll be honest with you guys, I didn't have a lot of money. And so when I spent $2,000 on a new camera, some new lights, a microphone, that $2,000 was an investment that I was making into my business. Now, was that a risk? Yes, of course it was, right? Because things could have turned out very different for my channel. But imagine for a second that I just kept that money safe in a savings account, never touched it, never put it to work, just let it sit there. Well, then I wouldn't be sitting right here talking with you today, making over $100,000 per month in income consistently. But the only reason I am is because I put my money to work. Here's the simple truth about money, folks. The more you put your money to work, the more it'll grow. The only reason I'm able to make thousands of dollars per year in stock dividends, which is all passive income by the way, is because I invest in the stock market. I put my money to work. Over the next 12 to 24 months, when I start deploying a lot of my money into buying more real estate, I'll start earning more income from my tenants paying rent. And this will only happen because I'll invest in real estate and I'll put my money to work. And so speaking of putting your money to work, the next piece of advice is that you need to invest like your life depends on it. It means absolutely nothing if you're making 100K per year, but you're also spending 100K per year. It means nothing if you're making $1 million per year, but then by the end of the year, you spent your entire $1 million income. If you're constantly spending exactly how much you earn, or even worse, you're spending more than what you earn every year, and you're not saving and investing any of it, then you're stagnant. You're falling back in life. You're not actually making any progress. In fact, we already know there's people in this world, like athletes, lottery winners, actors, musicians, who literally earn hundreds of millions of dollars through their career, but by the end of their career, they have nothing to show for it.
My dog, Delante. How you doing, my brother? Man.
I mean, could you imagine earning hundreds of millions of dollars over the course of a 20-year career, and then by the end of your career, you look in your bank account and you have $0 to your name? And the sad part is that this is literally happening all the time. Now, if these same people who are earning hundreds of millions of dollars were to instead save a portion of their income and invest it into the stock market or into real estate or starting a business, their investments would continue making them money so that they can continue living their same lifestyle. And so the first thing that you should do is set up a brokerage account and just get into the habit of transferring money from your bank account over to your brokerage account and investing in the stock market. Additionally, you need to open up a high yield savings account. This is a type of account where the interest that your money earns while sitting in the account is significantly higher than a regular savings. And the purpose of this account is to save money to buy real estate or to start a business or just to have money set aside for any future opportunities that may arise. And you could use accounts like Marcus by Goldman Sachs or the Chase 360 Performance account, which are both high yield savings accounts. And as far as a brokerage account, my personal recommendation is Webull, because if you use the link down below, you can get 12 free stocks valued up to $30,600 if you open up an account and deposit just 1 penny. Again, that link is down below. Simply use it to go to Webull, open up a free account, complete the application, and then link your bank account to your brokerage account, deposit at least 1 penny, and get 12 free stocks valued up to $30,600. Now, my next piece of advice is that you need to get a credit card as soon soon as possible if you don't have one already. Credit cards are arguably one of the most misunderstood and misused financial tools ever. They have so many benefits that don't exist with debit cards or cash, and if used responsibly, then they can truly become a tool that you can use to build wealth. This year alone, between my personal cards and my business cards, I've earned thousands of dollars in cashback bonuses, and I've also saved thousands of dollars from all the benefits provided to me from my cards. For example, when I traveled to Las Vegas this year to visit Andre Jick for his podcast, I had to buy a plane ticket, hotel room, and rent a car. And all of these things have additional costs associated with them that a lot of people don't consider. For example, most airlines will let you buy travel insurance while purchasing your ticket. And this insurance for one trip alone can cost hundreds of dollars. And what's even worse is that if you decline the insurance and you end up having to cancel your flight, or you lose some luggage during your trip, perhaps your expensive laptop gets stolen, well, now, unfortunately, you're out potentially thousands of dollars because you don't have any travel insurance to protect you. However, the credit card that I use to travel offers free travel insurance if I purchase the flight through the credit card. And the same is true with the car that I rented during my trip. When you rent a car, every single car company will try and upsell you car rental insurance. But once again, my credit card also offers free car rental insurance, and so I'm covered. But even beyond all the benefits of using credit cards is the simple fact that building your credit score is a critical part of building wealth. Because without good established credit, it's going to be nearly impossible for you to get loans for houses or business loans, or a loan to get a good car that can get you from point A to point B, all things that could be a very important part of your journey to becoming a millionaire. Now, the next money tip is that you need to start making more money as soon as possible. If you've been watching my channel, then you'll likely know that I talk a lot about making money, because making more money is the single most important part of building your wealth and becoming a millionaire while you're still young. Not investing in your Roth IRA, not buying index funds, not saving extra money by making coffee at home. None of those things are going to move the needle fast enough. Yes, investing in your Roth IRA or your 401k is still important, and I would still encourage you to do that. But if you want to become wealthy while you're young, you need to start a business or a side hustle that you can scale and grow. Back in 2015, when I was working in corporate America, I was making $15 per hour, which meant for the 2 years that I was working there from mid 2015 to about mid 2017, I was only making about $31,000 per year. And I knew that I had to increase my income if I ever wanted to live a life without boundaries. And so in mid 2017, with no plans whatsoever, I left corporate America and started my freelance web development business. And so what I did was I initially started off doing all the jobs by myself, but then I eventually began subcontracting a lot of the jobs. And so I would find companies that needed websites to be built by using sites like Upwork. I would submit proposals, get the contracts, and then hire other people to build the websites for me, pay them less than I was earning on the entire contract, and this freed up time and allowed me to scale and find even more contracts to make even more money. But even with all of this, I was still only making between $70,000 and $80,000 per year doing this. Now, some of you might be saying, well, what are you talking about, Joshua? That's really good money. Why would you complain about that?
I was making $70,000, $80,000 per year for about 2 years prior to doing YouTube. That was through web design stuff.
So what made you want to quit then? If you
I just wanted more.
You wanted more, okay.
I just wanted more, to be honest with you.
And so I stopped doing that, and I began focusing a lot more on YouTube and trying to find ways to grow and scale my income even more. And now I'm at a place where I'm making over 100K per month consistently between all of my income sources. Now, I've got dozens of videos on my channel where I talk about, the best side hustles and the best businesses to start to increase your income and start making life-changing money. However, I am currently in the process of working on a video that I think will help a lot of you out dramatically, because the one comment that I probably get the most from you guys is, Joshua, you give us a lot of good information, but I'm still confused. I still need guidance on what I should do to make money. If you're feeling overwhelmed and you don't know what business or side hustle to start specifically for you, this video that I'm currently working on will be a very important video for you to watch. And so if you're interested in that video, be sure to comment down below so that I know enough of you are actually interested and I can get this thing finished. Now, the next piece of advice is to live below your means. Here's the thing, okay? Despite a lot of the advice here on YouTube, I'm not saying, nor am I recommending, that you not enjoy your life. That you don't be generous and give and, pay for your friends' dinner when you go out to eat and spend money on yourself. No, do all those things. This year, I did something that I thought I would never do. And I spent over $13,000 on 2 different watches, and I've got another $10,000 watch on the way way soon. Now, here's the thing, okay? I can comfortably afford to buy those watches, which by the way, for me are an investment. But I can afford to buy those watches and still be living below my means based on my income. Now, if I spent, $10,000 on a Rolex Submariner back in 2016 when I was making $31,000 per year, well then that wouldn't make sense, right? Because obviously spending 30% of your yearly income on a single watch is not living below your means. But if you're making a lot of money, then you can still buy the nice things, but also still be living below your means. I mean, imagine for a second that you're making $1 million per year. You could easily afford to spend between, 10 and 20% of your income, which would be $200K per year, and still have $800,000 left over to save and invest and be responsible with. But if you're only making, $32,000 per year, then 10% of that is only $3,200, which really doesn't give you a lot of room to play with. But if you increase your income, then living below your means will start to take on a whole new meaning and look a lot different from living below your means on a low salary. But the next tip that I have for you is that you need to adjust your savings rate as your income increases. It is very difficult to save even just 10 to 20% of your income if you don't make a ton of money. But as your income increases because you started a business or you started a side hustle that you then scaled up, as your income increases, the amount of money that you save should also increase. And remember from one of the earlier points in this video, you're saving your money to then go and invest it into performing assets, right? Things that are going to continue to make you money even when you're not working. And so as your income increases, let's say right now you're only saving 10% of your income. Well, when you start making 100K per year or 500K per year or $1 million+ per year, you should get to a point where you're saving as much as 80% of your income every single year. Because the worst possible thing that you could do is increase your income, but then also increase your spending alongside your income. That makes no sense at all. Don't be like the Mike Tysons of the world, making $400 million in your career, but then blowing through all of it and having to go back and work in your later years. And the last tip that I have for you, and probably the most important, is that you need to protect your goals at all costs. What exactly do I mean by this? Well, it's important for you to understand that most of the people that you'll encounter in your day-to-day life are not going to be nearly as ambitious as you are. They don't have goals up here like you do, right? Because they've always set their goals down here, or sometimes they never set any goals at all. And so when you start telling people about your goals, right, you start sharing with the world what your goals are, you're gonna start getting a lot of hate from all different directions. I had a teacher once in high school back in senior year. His name was Mr. Ramoni. And one of our assignments one day during class was to write a one-page paper about what we wanted to achieve after high school. And in my paper, I wrote, I want to be rich, I want to be a millionaire. And so after class the next day, Mr. Ramoni says to me, hey Josh, I need you to stay back. And so the whole class leaves and it's just me and Mr. Ramoni, right? And I kid you not, he looks at me dead in the face and says, you do know that you're not going to be able to achieve this, right? And so I just stood there and I stared at him because I couldn't believe what he just said to me. And he stared back at me and he started grinning as if he just like proved a point or something. And so I said back to him, no, you're wrong, I will. And his grin went away and he said to me, Josh, if you prove me wrong, I want you to come back to this school and show me that you did it. Now that was years ago, right? And I'm probably never gonna go back to his classroom to prove him wrong, but the point that I'm trying to make with telling you all of this is that people will try to on your goals and dreams. It could be someone in your family, friends, bosses, teachers, some random troll on the internet, and what you have to do is protect your goals at all costs. Don't ever let someone else convince you that you're not capable of achieving something great, especially if they haven't done anything themselves. You have to believe that it's possible of achieving your goal of becoming a millionaire, because if you believe it, then you'll actually put energy into achieving it. If you don't believe it because somebody else convinced you that it was unrealistic and that you couldn't do it, then it's dead in the water. You guys are all amazing and I appreciate every single one of you watching. I mean that, and I hope that you have a beautiful rest of your day or night. And as always, I will see you again very soon. Take care.